Hello, today I will share with you 5 profound life lessons, told from the true story of Denzel Washington, combined with Stoic philosophy. These are not only lessons for success, but also a guideline for a meaningful life. If this video resonates with you, leave a comment sharing what you learned. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel to explore valuable life lessons from Stoic philosophy and inspiring people. Everything I have is by the grace of God. That's what Denzel Washington said. But before the Oscars, before the fame, there was a moment. He was a young man lost, almost kicked out of school, sitting silently in the back of his mother's beauty salon. And then, a stranger walked in. She looked at him, paused, and said something he'd never forget. "You're going to speak to millions. You're going to travel the world." He didn't believe her. Why would he? He was just a kid with no direction, no plan. But sometimes the world sees your light before you do. That moment wasn't luck. It was alignment. A quiet whisper from the universe saying, "There's more in you." And what does Stoicism have to do with this? Everything. Because the world we live in, it's noisy. It's chaotic. It tells you, control this, fix that, be perfect. But the Stoics, they cut through the noise. Epictetus said, there are things that depend on us and things that do not. Simple. You don't control the weather. You don't control the stock market, your boss's mood, or the opinions of others. But you do control something far greater. Your reaction. Your discipline. Your belief. This is the heart of Stoicism. Not cold detachment, but courageous clarity. Denzel could have given up. Let that moment in the salon pass. Dismissed the woman's words and gone back to drifting. But he chose a different response. He kept showing up. He kept believing, long before anyone else did. And that's the lesson. You won't always feel ready. You won't always feel strong. But you don't need to control the whole world. You just need to control yourself. When life gets heavy, stop asking, why is this happening to me? And start asking, how do I choose to respond? That's power. That's freedom. So the next time you feel overwhelmed, remember, it's not about having control over everything. It's about owning the one thing no one can take from you. Your mind. Your choices. Your path. And maybe, just maybe, a stranger will look at you one day and say, I always knew you had something special. Believe it, because you do. Dream big. Fail big. Don't be afraid to fail. That's not just a quote. It's a challenge. Denzel Washington didn't rise to greatness by playing it safe. He dreamed big and failed often. But he never let failure define him. Because failure isn't the end. It's part of the process. Denzel says, dreams without goals remain just dreams. And goals without discipline? Just wishful thinking. Every dream, no matter how big, needs a bridge. And that bridge is built daily. With discipline. With persistence. With doing the work, especially on the days you don't feel like it. Now pause for a second. What does Stoicism have to say about all this? Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor and a Stoic philosopher, said, don't waste time thinking about the outcome. Do what's right. That's enough. That's clarity. That's freedom. You see, most people wait. They wait for the perfect plan. The perfect timing. The perfect version of themselves. But perfection is the enemy of action. You don't need all the answers to get started. You just need to take the first step and keep moving. The Stoics teach us, don't attach to outcomes. Attach to effort. To purpose. To doing the next right thing even when no one's watching. That's how dreams become real. You're not supposed to have it all figured out. But you are supposed to try. To show up. To move forward, imperfectly, courageously. So if you're sitting on a dream right now, don't wait. Start messy. Start small. But start. Because the truth is, the journey teaches you more than success ever could. And the only real failure is never trying at all. It's not about how much you have. It's about what you do with what you have. That truth hits deep. You could have all the money, all the status, all the applause in the world, and still feel empty. Because fulfillment doesn't come from what you have. It comes from who you choose to be. Denzel Washington reminds us, success isn't about things. It's about purpose. About using your gifts, no matter how big or small, to serve others. You don't need a spotlight to make an impact. You need heart. You need integrity. You need the courage to ask, how can I help? Instead of, what do I get? Now let's bring in the wisdom of the Stoics. To them, wealth and fame weren't evil. They were neutral. Neither good nor bad, just tools. Epictetus said, it's not things that disturb us, but our judgment about things. In other words, money isn't the problem. Fame isn't the problem. Attachment is. When you live only for gain, you lose yourself. But when you live for meaning, you gain something no one can take from you. Stoicism doesn't ask you to reject success. It asks you to define it differently. Real success? It's waking up with integrity, doing work that matters, treating people with respect, giving your best, no matter your title, your paycheck, or your followers. So whether you're a teacher, an artist, a janitor, or a CEO, the question is the same. Are you living with purpose? Are you showing up with character? Are you using what you have to lift someone else? Because in the end, people won't remember your resume. They'll remember your kindness, your honesty, your impact. So don't chase the image of success. Chase the substance. And always remember, it's not about what's in your hands. It's about what's in your heart. That's where real greatness lives. Put your slippers way under the bed so in the morning you have to get on your knees to reach them, and while you're down there, say thank you. That's Denzel Washington. And that's not just advice. It's a way of life. Gratitude isn't weakness. It's strength in its purest form. Because when you start your day on your knees in thanks, you rise with purpose. You rise with clarity. You rise with a heart that isn't chasing more, but appreciating what already is. Denzel lives this. Not just on stage, not just in speeches, but in the quiet, everyday moments most people overlook. And the Stoics? They knew the power of gratitude long before us. Seneca said, "Gratitude is not only the greatest of virtues, but the parent of all the others." Gratitude sharpens your vision. It helps you see the good that's already around you, before you go reaching for more. We live in a world that's always pushing us forward. Get more. Be more. Achieve more. But sometimes the bravest thing you can do is pause, breathe, and say, thank you. Thank you for the breath in your lungs. Thank you for the roof above your head. Thank you for the people who believe in you, even on your worst days. You don't need to have everything to be grateful. In fact, gratitude often grows strongest in those who've lost, stumbled, and gotten back up. The Stoics teach us, every day is a gift, every moment an opportunity, not to demand but to appreciate. So tomorrow morning try it. Put your slippers deep under the bed. Get down on your knees. And start your day not with urgency, but with thanks. Because a grateful heart doesn't chase blindly. It walks with wisdom, with presence, and with power. And in that space, you don't just survive. You grow. Each one teach one. Don't just make a living, make a difference. That's what Denzel Washington believes. And it's not just a slogan. It's a calling. Because life isn't just about getting ahead. It's about lifting someone as you go. It's about using what you've learned, what you've survived, what you've been given, to help someone else rise. You don't have to be rich to be generous. You don't have to be famous to be impactful. You just have to care. Enough to show up. Enough to reach back. Enough to say, I've been where you are, and I'm here for you. The Stoics understood this too. Epictetus said, no one is born for themselves alone. That's not poetry. That's a principle. You were not put on this earth just to accumulate, not just to succeed for your own sake, but to serve, to connect, to contribute. And here's the truth. You don't need to wait until you've made it to make a difference. You can start now, with what you know, with what you've got. A kind word, a listening ear, a helping hand. It matters. Stoicism isn't about retreating from the world. It's about engaging with it, wisely, purposefully. It's about knowing that the strength you build isn't just for you, it's for others too. You don't need a platform. You don't need permission. You just need to remember. Someone out there needs exactly what you have. So give freely. Serve boldly. Let quietly. And never underestimate the ripple effect of a single act of kindness. Because the real measure of a life isn't what you've earned, it's what you've given. And in that giving, you find something greater than success. You find meaning. If this video resonates with you, leave a comment sharing what you learned. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel to explore valuable life lessons from Stoic philosophy and inspiring people. Remember, live not to be famous, but to be useful.